Doug Mastriano was at the insurrection and he was photographed breaching one of the restricted areas. Is that okay?
Which area? Because I saw a video where Capitol officers were taking away barriers and unlocking doors for people. So, I mean,
they opened the gates.
So it shouldn't be disqualifying for an elected official if they participated in January 6th?
He didn't strike anybody. He didn't hurt anybody.
And the only one that died was a protester there, not a Capitol police officer.
An unarmed female veteran was shot.
That's the only one that died.
That's the only one who died.
A police officer did die.
No. It was a stroke.
That's not
on site.
Caused by that. That's because he shouldn't have been a police officer.
You hear that last part? He shouldn't have been a police officer because he was having issues with being attacked by a mob of angry people that said they want to kill him, and in fact tried to. That's MSNBC's Elise Jordan. She was talking to Pittsburgh Trump voters about, of course, January 6th. Some of them were actually there, but they talked about Antifa and BLM showing up. We know the talking points because they've been fed them. Because the minions of MAGA supporters do these things. There was more though, because one of them said that they were actually there. And they talked about BLM and Antifa. I wonder which part of the group this particular person was in. It doesn't matter. Here's some nonsensical answers.
So what do you make though overall of January 6th? I mean, it was watching that footage, it was pretty disturbing. I mean, there were people throwing excrement at the walls and it was it's the Capitol.
It looked a lot like Antifa's actions.
It looked a lot, except on a much smaller scale. It looked the same as the Black Lives Matter riots.
That's what I saw the similarities to be.
Minneapolis burns, Kenosha burns.
But so it's okay just because one side that you disagree with?
I'm saying Antifa infiltrated.
It's good for one, it's good for the other.
Anybody who harmed anybody who caused property destruction, that needs to be dealt with. But if you're there making your voice heard at the people's house, no less, that's again, it's a fundamental constitutional right of an American citizen. And people should not be being held political prisoner because of it.
For misdemeanors. That's East Germany.
That's East Germany.
Tactics.
Yeah, that's what's scary.
It was an actual fiery but mostly peaceful protest.
Fiery but mostly peaceful. Imagine if you could say that about, again, they bring up the summer riots of 2020. Was it fiery and mostly peaceful? But that's not what they would characterize it to be. But since they were there and since folks that looked like them were there, it was peaceful. Oh no, in fact, the violence was actually carried out by Antifa and BLM. It's the same talking point over and over and over again. We're gonna get to how they feel the violence should have been quelled in a second, Sharon, but I feel like there's plenty there already. And I feel like you're ready to go.
I had to double check because when you said MSNBC, I thought, well, this is a real interview and not a comedy sketch. And I say that only half joking. It's like, driving my daughter to school today, she said she didn't study for a test. And I said, what do you mean you didn't study? She said, that's what recess is for, mommy. Hand me your phone. Okay, you're ridiculous. Okay, we're not really going to debate that, are we? And it seemed like the inflection she used, the tone was, when you talk to children, you have to meet them where they are age-wise and, whatever grade they're in. And it seemed like that's what she was doing here. Not disrespectful in any way, but when he uttered, well, which part? Which area did he? Stop, okay?
Like it matters.
Stop.
So also, by the way, there's the part about which part did they walk in on. Then the property damage about the summer of 2020. If someone asked that next question, again, we just talked about the Jon Stewart interview and talking about the 2020 election fraud and all that with the Arizona officials. So if you think the property damage is a problem because an AutoZone got burned down, then we talk about the people's house, the Capitol. Was there a problem with the broken windows? That's vandalism. Was there a problem with the excrement all over the place? That's vandalism. There's a problem with them breaking down doors and windows. Was that a problem for you, or was that just not property damage? Oh, I'm sorry, that was BLM and Antifa. And by the way, what they've put together is this hierarchy. Because what was the 2020 protests and some riots about? The murders of humans. That's what they keep leaving off, because what they don't want to confront is people were protesting not even indiscriminate, but the targeted murders of certain folks on a larger scale in this country. They never bring up that part, or why they decided to storm the Capitol, which was we're mad about the election. So one group is upset because humans are being murdered by the authority figures, which we call authority figures in the country, and this group is mad because they lost the damn election. So they run up in the Capitol of the United States. AutoZone is more important that one AutoZone is more important than the US Capitol and our entire democracy. That's what those idiots just said. In fact, there's one more thing these idiots said. They said that something else should have been done about the violence. Why didn't Trump stop the violence since it was BLM and Antifa? Here's that answer.
I think the timeline, didn't he speak? Because he was back at the White House and then he tweeted. So he tweeted.
After
people were still there
and stuff.
Why did Nancy Pelosi deny his request?
Actually, we have
several thousand National Guard troops.
Yeah.
Well, it actually isn't in Pelosi's power to deploy National Guard. Well, she's Speaker of the House. She has no authority over that whatsoever. And frankly, I think that's a good thing.
But even so,
isn't she in charge of security?
If there was that great of a risk that she was offered them, then why didn't she preemptively beef up Capitol Police?
Right.
What she does have the authority to do.
Capitol Police are there.
But apparently they were taken off guard.
Yeah.
Apparently the hell was beat out of them is what happened. Last thoughts on this, Sharon?
I don't even know if I have a last thought. Are these people for real? This whole group thing where they're all lined up and agreeing, and but Nancy Pelosi, and isn't she from Baltimore? Like, I don't even understand what they're saying. What on earth is going on here? And wouldn't you elbow your neighbor and say, you know, it didn't happen, right? Can we go with a different lie? The whole thing is crazy.
They haven't been given those lies yet. As you can tell, a lot of these are when they regurgitate what's been told of them to say, they don't really fully understand. And again, it's to protect what they believe in, which is Republicans should run this country no matter what. Democracy be damned.
They're working on it.